Now, if they had a bad experience, that's an opportunity for you to talk to them about them and find out about it. Again, don't pitch them on anything. Grab details. You can actually resurrect that.
Warning: Damian Andrews' growing revenue and profit, if implemented, will put more money in your pocket. Please use with caution.
Damian Andrews, growing revenue and profit. And we're talking about growing revenue in this video. It surprises me how many businesses I walk into that have this gold mine of potential sales there that they just haven't tapped into. And what we're talking about here is previous customers. It's amazing. You've had customers. How many times you do the sale and then how many times do you not go back and talk to that customer after you've done the sale and stay in contact with them? If they've bought from you before, chances are, in most cases, unless you're selling caravans, that, even if you are selling caravans, that it might be a longer lead time, but there will still be the potential for that sale. If they bought from you and they were happy with you, there is that potential for more sales. And many times people don't do that, aside from not having a CRM, separate video that we'll deal with, but having that ability to go back and speak with those customers. They already bought from you. So I remember with one of my clients, I was talking to them about this, and we went through this process and we said, okay, let's pull out previous customer list. And we went through the list and go, well, who were the ones that you enjoyed dealing with the most? Good question to ask. Who did you enjoy dealing with the most? And we made a list and we went through those top 10. There was 10 of them. We said, okay, these are the ones you enjoyed dealing with the most. I said, okay, now we're going to get on the phone, and we had a script that we went through just to touch base, see how we're going, find some feedback, all those kind of things. So we want to find out about what their experience was. That's the purpose for the call, is you're finding out what the experience was. We're just doing a follow-up. Just want to let you know that we're still here, that we care about. Okay, so you do that. And from that perspective, if you had a good relationship, so a lot of times you'll get calls from people that you didn't have a good relationship, and that's the only time you get the call is they want to make a sale. That's not the reason to call. You want to find out what's going on, and you want to leave it with that. So you want to make sure that your intention is not, certainly if you haven't spoken to them for a while, your intention is not to call them to pitch them something new, because then it's just disingenuous. We know they're not calling because, or you're not calling because that you care about them. It's because you want something from them, and that comes across straight away. So don't do that. You call them up to find out what's going on, and just and find out how the experience was, what it was like to work together. Those kind of things, they're the call that you make. I do this regularly where I'll call up people when I'm doing the sales thing. I'll call up after Christmas and New Year, after any particular holiday, and I make it a deliberate thing. I'm not calling to make a sale. I'm just calling to touch base. And I do that. The amount of sales that I've got out of doing that is astronomical. It's just ridiculous how that works. It happened coming out of COVID. I remember with one client, I was doing their sales for them, and I was calling up just to say, hey, how are the kids? And I knew that because I had that in my CRM, that I knew who they were and what their background and their details, the kids they had, names of the kids, had that in there. So I called up and said, hey, how's it going? And we're having a chat. Then they said, oh, yeah, by the way, we've actually got this, we need help here. Oh, yeah, no problem, we can do that. That wasn't the reason for my call, but it's amazing the amount of business that's come out of that. So what you want to be doing, again, the whole point of creating a business is that you're solving people's problems. And by solving the problems, part of that problem is having a relationship of trust. This is certainly critical with sales. Any sales, it's all about trust, especially in today's environment where there's so many charlatans out there. You want to create a relationship of trust. You want to create a relationship, a good relationship. Relationships happen regardless. Doesn't mean they're all good. So you want to create a situation where you're calling them up to find out how things are going. That is the purpose of the call. That goes into your CRM to create this relationship that you have together. If you're calling up out of the blue, again, you're not there to pitch them. Just find out, be very, very clear that you're not here to pitch them. And don't pitch them. If they offer you something, that's a different story, but you want to have this, you want to tap into this existing database that you have. You have a massive database, whether you're aware of it or not. All the clients that you have dealt with before are there. They bought from you. Now, if they had a bad experience, that's an opportunity for you to talk to them about them and find out about it. Again, don't pitch them on anything. Grab details. You can actually resurrect that. I had with one client, this was a construction company where the contract, it was what was it from memory, 3.8 million, I think, somewhere in that area. $3.8 million contract that had been cancelled. They actually had cancelled the contract in the sense they're working through it. They've gone through the whole process of the clauses had been the termination clauses had been executed, as in this contract, you're not performing as a contractor, we're terminating the contract. I resurrected that contract. I made the call. I had several meetings with them. I discussed it and talked about a way through. There was a problem that they needed this. They just needed it done well. Now, obviously, I'd put together the systems in the background to make sure that the work actually happened, but I was able to resurrect. So I was sold a new contract effectively, because the contract was still there, but it had been cancelled, it had been terminated. So I sold them in that situation where they had a massively bad experience of resurrecting this contract and going through and completing the works. And that's what happened. We recreated that. So from that perspective, you have this massive database of potential sales right there in front of you, and you just need to tap into that. And even if they've had a bad experience, if you have the right systems in place, you need to set all that up as well to make sure that you actually do that. But to fix those systems where that customer had a bad experience, that you can create a more positive experience about that. Because I mean, think about it from as a person, from your own experiences. Have you had a bad experience with a friend or a partner or whatever? And then did you resolve that? And did you create a closer relationship? In a lot of cases, you do, where you've had an issue and you've resolved it. Generally, you've created a closer relationship. And this is what you want to be doing. You've got this massive database, there's a lot of people. So there's all those people that did buy from you. If they bought from you, they will buy again if you just reach out in the right way. And that's where you need to have that system in place where you call them up, have a chat with them, get to know what's going on. If it's a bad experience, how do you fix it? If it was a good experience, just touching base to let you know that we're still here. And if there's any other problems we can help with, more than happy to discuss that. But that's not what I wanted about this call. What I want to do is just let you know that we're still here and connect with you. Massive database, you've already got it, tap into it. That's a very simple and easy way to grow your revenue and profit. This is Damien Andrews for Growing Revenue and Profit.